All in all, really good.
Most people are good with two fingering.
Oh yeah, I think two people will probably do a little two finger. I'm more of a one finger guy. You know, if I got to put two fingers on there, I don't know. You know, you never can know. But if it's a one finger, yeah, we're always good to go with a one finger. But the fork up front definitely leaves a lot to be desired, man. It's just like, the bike still is very balanced and level.
Did you make a nut brakes reference and then just scoot on by?
I mean, wow, dude, this is bad. This is a whole new level of diva right here.
You're gonna need the elbow pad. Wolftooth Nation, thank you guys for tuning in to once again another Wolftooth Videos episode. On today's episode, we've been telling you guys for the longest time now we got to be doing some updates on some bikes, some parts, and we've been trying to do that this summer. It's been 1 year, a little after a year, a little over a year, since we've done the initial impressions and the real-time review on the Mongoose Switchback Expert. You can get this bike right now at Dick's Sporting Goods right around $6.99. And this pretty much is the bike, this and the Switchback Comp, that have taken over GT's spot, all right? So this guy here, we're gonna do a little once-over on it, and we're gonna be taking it to everybody's favorite trail. Maybe not everybody's favorite trail. Big brother Kevin H's favorite trail, old Ragnarok here at Northwoods in Hot Springs, Arkansas, all right? This thing is bone stock still. We're going to get this episode out of the way, and then who knows, sooner or later we might be throwing some upgrades on this thing. I like that they gave you a really good tire on this thing. They've given you really good hydraulic nut brakes, okay? They're only 2 pistons, but they give you hydraulic brakes on it, 160 both rear and the front. We have a 1x8. And now the 1x8, guys, this is a bomb-proof group set. We've talked about that. We're going to put it to the test today on some climbing. It's the Acolyte. It's a 12 to 42 tooth, which I kind of prefer they give us a 12 to 46 tooth. You definitely get a lot more gearing when it comes to the climbing department. But the 42 ain't bad. But
well,
it's just,
the one advantage of the 42 tooth cassette is it's a lot easier to dial in.
yeah, once it's dialed in, like I said, this thing is really bomb-proof. And the cool thing about the Acolyte is not only is it a pretty budget group set, we've done a lot of them. And I like to say that we kind of had a little bit of touch with Mongoose selecting their group set because we're big believers way before they ever put this on their bikes, way before this model was ever out. But anyway, this model here, like all the other Acolytes, does have a stabilizer, and that's pretty much the clutch system, and it works really good. The Suntour, this is kind of the area where if we're going to do some upgrades on this thing, kind of like we did our Comp, you know, the Comp, we did a new fork. It'd probably be a new fork in the department with this guy because that's the XC28 Suntour, 100 millimeters of travel, and it's got 28 millimeter stanchions. I would say, Wolftooth Nation, you guys think that we could probably upgrade this thing and keep it under $1,000? $300?
Oh, right now, I think that would be possible.
I think it'd be possible. Right at $300, a little bit less for a
You don't need to touch the group set, really.
No.
And if you were to, you'd just do the cassette, but I don't even know if that's needed.
No.
You would just do a fork, and right now there's some great deals to be had on forks.
Oh my gosh, is there?
Pedals.
Mongoose, he sent us heck of a deal on eBay for a new Suntour fork. We might have to look at that.
Yeah, so there's different things. I think really this bike would benefit from a dropper, like you want a dropper, right?
Yeah.
Fork. And maybe some pedals. And are the grips good, or do they need to be replaced?
I mean, they can always be replaced. The grips are okay. They're thinner Mongoose, but they're not lock-on grips, so that could be something, you know. But I think we can keep it under $300. Let's take this thing on Ragnarok. Let's go see what she's got. Is it worth the $700 like we remember it was? Let's find out.
What's up for them to decide if it's worth it?
Okay, all right then. Love you. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so if you're just looking at this bike, this is kind of what this episode's for. I mean, we've owned it for a little over a year, but it's still bone stock, which is impressive given our channel, what we do with bikes here. And it's not bone stock because we're like, it's not worth putting money into it. Like I said, LeBronPhoto.com sent us a dropper for it, but we wanted to wait at least for a year before we started doing stuff to it because it's important to do these upgrades or updates, especially if somebody's looking at just wanting to purchase this bike. So we're going to talk about it in that way of, if you're looking at it and you watch the real-time review, you kind of want to see how it held up, and maybe this is the season that you want to get into mountain biking and you want to buy something decent, maybe not overly priced, but decent, and that's your decision if it's overly priced. But I'm going to give you guys just a couple of things that just scared me right now. Kid was screaming. I'm going to give you guys a couple of things to look at. Now, if you guys are interested in watching a comparison episode with this bike and the Switchback Comp, how are you guys doing? Good. If you guys are interested in watching an episode on the Switchback Comp versus the Switchback Expert, we've done an episode on that, all right? But I'll give you guys a couple of things. One of the things that this bike has, as opposed to the Comp, is this has a tapered head tube, which gives you a lot of options as far as a fork goes. And the of course, the Comp just is a 44 to 44, and we did the little adapter degreed angle headset, which is a pretty cool episode. You guys might want to go back and watch that if you decide to go with the Comp. There's a few more differences. Another one's going to be these brakes here are hydraulic nut brakes. They're 2-piston. They're about a 2-finger brake. You got some strong hands, maybe a 1-finger, but I think they're listed at a 2-finger. But hydraulic brakes is always something really nice to have. We're going to be hitting Ragnarok, and that's going to be a blue trail, very popular trail here at Northwoods. A lot of people love this trail because it offers a lot. Cat's Meow is very flowy. You've got a couple of features and things like that, but when it comes to the Ragnarok, and I really think above all the other trails here, it offers everything. You've got flow, you've got really tight switchbacks, you've got very technical areas at a high rate of speed or a low rate of speed if that's what you want to be doing. Keep it safe. And then you've got some pretty neat features as well. Something I like about this bike, I just got off of another one that's stock as well. Something I like about this one is the WTB tires. I love how thick and how knobby they are. So that's definitely very nice to have. You know, you get some of those bikes that are bone stock and those suckers. Geez, this is a heck of a decline here. This got washed out pretty good. You get a lot of those bikes that are stock that just come with really crappy tires. And luckily, this one here is not one of them. Geez, had to freaking go swimming for a second there. Like, yeah, I'll leave that one alone. I was going to say something. I'll leave that one alone. And the other cool thing about this bike, and we've talked about it, is the group set that it comes with. It could have the 12 to 46 tooth, but it's got the 12 to 42 Acolyte. And this here is going to be your stabilizer. You basically stick an Allen wrench in there and turn it. It turns it on, which it's on now. Whenever you want to turn it off, you flip this little lever, which I'm not going to because I want to keep that tension on there. But we're going to get a little bit of climbing in. And then we'll be hitting Dreamcatcher to Ragnarok. It's a beautiful trail, and it is absolutely gorgeous out here today. Good riding weather. We're like in the, I think we're about 95 right now. All right, so let's go ahead and shift towards first gear. Okay, we're in first gear. One of the downsides with the Acolyte is the throw on the shifter. Now we're all the way in first. It can't shift any further, but there's still a pretty good amount of throw whenever you're in second or third or so on. So that's kind of a downside to it. It is a very budget group set, but like we're talking about, it's pretty bulletproof. We've at least had like 4 or 5 of them installed. One of them still installed in our GT Aggressor Pro, the bike that this took the place of it, Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh, and I'm not going to bore you guys too much with this climbing, but that's what this is from here on out, is straight up climbing. So probably gonna fast forward this till we get up to hub Q, I think it is, hub H, something like that. But all right, guys, let's do this. I'll catch you on the other side. Here we go. Seat posts will be dropped. And whoa, we can drop even more now because we cut this sucker. Old sloth cam, don't you worry. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. It's like perfect. It's perfect for the sloth cam. Who'd thunk it? Hell yeah, look at that thing. So that's one other downside when you get the small, at least from our experience, we don't have a medium. You can't drop the seat post, and that's super important whenever it comes to going downhill. I mean, look how low that thing can get out of our way. It sucks whenever that's being when that's obstructing your butt and your legs. Group set did good climbing. I will say I kind of did prefer the 46 after climbing that nasty climb. It's an awful climb. The fork here, again, you got the preload knobs, don't really do a whole lot for you. We're going to loosen these guys all the way up. 100 millimeters of travel, I'm pretty sure. They might be 80, but I mean, look how much travel we just used, how much oil we've used just in climbing. But the SR Suntour stuff is pretty tough. Front tires nice and tight. Hydraulic brakes getting ready to stop me. We're going on Dreamcatcher, boys and gals. Here we go. We're going to find out. I mean, we've done a lot of riding on this, but again, if you're looking at purchasing this bike, how it's held up over a year has been good. No maintenance, not even grease to the chain. And that being said, it's like she held up on the cat's meow, you know, our official test track. Will she hold up on a difficult blue? I think so. And I think a part of that really attributes to that is these nice tires. I can't get over how nice these tires are. You know, you see a lot of bikes these days that just don't have a good tire, and that's very important, you know. Second's going to be the grips and the pedals, you know, all the areas of contact, as they like to say. Grips definitely could be better. They're not terrible. Again, it's not super hot out right now, but I'm not getting any type of whiskey throttlage. And my feet are actually sticking to these pedals. They're decent. They're just plastic generic pedals, but they're actually decent for right now. Okay, here we go. Ragnarok blue, more difficult. I'm gonna do a little one finger action on the brakes. The tires are sticking decent. That fork is definitely going to be the heaviest part of this bike. Oh yeah, wow, actually quite balanced. I'm going to two finger quick. Actually quite balanced in that area, that little bit of little feature that we just hit. The bike is very nimble. Almost hit that tree. Bike is very nimble underneath me. I'm not liking that these brakes, they're doing a good job, but I'm moving right now. Ooh, I'm moving right now, and the brakes are kind of hard. Ugh. Hard to squeeze with a two finger because the rough trail. Oh God, that was a hard hit. See, most of the time we'd be getting a flat right now. The reach adjustment, I'm gonna have to adjust the reach adjustment because it's too far out just for one finger and actually have confidence in braking. Geez, this bike is pretty fast. I don't know what rate of speed we got up to right now, but okay, we're gonna adjust these right quick. The reach adjustment, these are way too far out, and doing it with a two finger was just not happening. I did not want to take my hand off that bar. It got very uncomfortable. Okay, they're a little further in now. That's a little bit more comfortable. Let's continue down this nasty trail. Wow, these tires, dude. Okay, in the size small, what I like about it is it feels like I'm in the cockpit. I say that a lot on bikes that actually feel that way on. We are getting some chain slap. That stabilizer's having a hard time. That's super important to feel comfortable, and that's one thing that I can say that's nice about getting a size bike and also buying it from Dick's Sporting Goods. You can go in there and get it sized out for you. That's a big plus, you know, as opposed to going to maybe a Walmart to actually have a Bike Pro. Now their credentials I'm not positive on, having a two finger that stuff. Oh yes, but they're the Bike Pro, they do have one at Dick's Sporting Goods. So that's always a good thing. You check out that little warranty program as well if they still got it. Man, I like this bike is very comfortable, very easy to handle at a high rate of speed. She's handling this more difficult blue trail with ease. Here's the technical section. Very easy to pick your lines on, and everything's holding up. I mean, this has been a year of riding and then right out of the box, no upgrades, and it's feeling just as good as it did day one. That fork definitely, although this bike feels balanced, if you let yourself start to teeter over that bar a little bit, that front end will either raise up really high or start to kind of nosedive, man, because how heavy that fork is up front. But the rear end actually has a good amount of little weight to it in a good way, and it's keeping it nice and level throughout these little features like this. My feet are sticking to these pedals pretty good, and they're plastic pedals. I probably still would do an upgrade with them, taking on a trail like this, but I'm impressed, very impressed. I don't ever want this trail to end. That's the downside to Ragnarok, is it's so much fun. We got some fast portions here. These grips are really nice in the hands. That don't, oh no, I got a derailment. At least it was at the end of the trail, right? As soon as I was about to get air and pedal through, man, let's try the brakes. Oh yeah, brakes are great on this bike. They're really something. Okay, good, the camera's still on there. Why are we getting derailments? I think that's 2 times with this bike already. You know, it could have been, I don't say this a whole lot, but what it could have been is the way I have to keep my feet when riding, because I always have a camera back here. I was using this earlier. This is the Black Mini 11. I always put my feet at a weird angle, or sometimes I pinch my feet together too much because I'm worried about this or hitting something. And I may have caused that derailment right now, but either way, the chain just derailed. That's never a good thing. Fork, definitely got to work out for sure. We have got to get a better fork on this thing and use up that taperage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's tapered. We got to use that up. But man, other than that, this bike is pretty damn solid still. I really am a fan of this bike. We just went down that blue trail pretty much out of the box still a year, and everything is still straight and legit, not bent, holding up. I had to put a little bit of air in the tires, and we're set and ready to go. Let's get back to Wolfman, do a little conclusion on there. If you guys are looking at this bike, I'm glad you're looking at it. You can check out those affiliate links and look even further. Wow. All right, guys, just got done with the Mongoose Switchback Expert. Let me tell you something, man. If you guys are looking at this bike, I mean, it's been a year since we've owned it. We've ridden the crap out of it. Just took it down Ragnarok. That's the more difficult one of the trails here where are we at?
What, Waterworks?
Waterworks. All right,
Northwoods.
Here in Hot Springs. And that trail is super rough right now, and this thing completely handled it. I mean, it definitely can handle a blue trail, maybe a little bit more. But I think we definitely need some tasteful upgrades for this thing. The grips really aren't bad, but if I'm purchasing this bike, I want to get some grips for it. I would like to get some better pedals. The pedals are just fine. I mean, my RC shoes were sticking to them just fine, but pedals are going to be super important. And the great thing is we don't have to purchase tires right off the bat. These tires, the WTBs, super tough. I thought there'd be a couple areas out there I would definitely get a flat on. I think normally I would have, but since these tires got some pretty good knobbage to them, that's not a problem whatsoever. The other thing that's very nice with this, you have the hydraulic brakes, and that is just great to have out there whenever you get into a pinch, especially on that trail. Did have to adjust the reach a little bit. They're a little far out, uncomfortable to really two-finger them and not really feel like you're gripping onto the bar that much. So that was kind of a little bit of a hassle. But the Suntour fork up front, it needs another fork. You know, it just needs something a little bit beefier up there and an air fork to really lighten the whole front end up. Got to 17 miles an hour on this bike, and it is just as good as it was when we unboxed it and we put it together and rode it on the Cat's Meow. I can say that. Nothing's loose, nothing's rattling around. The other thing was with climbing like that, I cut out a lot of the climbing. I did show you guys a little bit. It gets way worse, like way worse, and the 46 tooth would have been nice. But again, this is a free hub, and you do have a name brand, the Microshift Acolyte back there. It's nothing to go on Amazon or check out our phone links in the description below and order the 46 tooth and go ahead and install it. You might want to get another chain too, but the cool thing is this thing is upgrade friendly and ready to rock and roll, you know, and it's a hardtail, so it is a rider's bike for sure. I love that you can get them in sized. I'm a fan of it, you know. I'm still a really big fan of it. I'm looking forward to doing some stuff to it. I think we definitely need to put a dropper on there, use up that dropper that LeBron sent us. But all in all, $700 right now. You guys can either find it at some of the Dick's Sporting Goods we found. I think it was in Memphis that we found one. Or you guys can check out the phone links in the description below and order them, all right? But guys, we appreciate you watching Wolftooth videos as always. That was a year update. 1 year it's been already. I can't believe we're saying that. 1 year. On the Switchback Expert. And it's a solid bike. It's a solid performer. It really is.
Well, okay. Yeah. Just kind of abruptly ended.